You know that feeling, right? Like you're drowning in debt, barely keeping your head above water. And I'm not talking about owing a couple bucks on a coffee run. This is the kind of debt that keeps you up at night.
It's heavy stuff for sure.
It really is. But what if there was a way to kind of hit pause on that whole drowning feeling? A way to actually catch your breath and come up with a plan?
Well, that's what we're hoping to unpack a bit today.
Exactly. Because today we're diving into consumer proposals in Canada. And honestly, after digging into the info you gave me, it's way less scary than I thought it would be.
I hear that a lot, actually. People avoid dealing with debt because they think it's this big, scary monster.
Oh, totally. But a consumer proposal, from what I'm gathering, it's more like, a lifeline, not a monster.
That's a good way to put it. It's about finding a way to manage your debt, not be crushed by it.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's like, consumer proposal, what is that? Can you give us the elevator pitch?
Sure. So basically, it's a legal agreement between you and whoever you owe money to, your creditors, where you agree to pay back a part of what you owe, not the whole thing.
Okay, so it's like hitting the negotiate button on your debt. I can get behind that. But this isn't something you just like try to figure out with your creditors on your own, right? You need some backup.
You hit the nail on the head. You definitely need an expert in your corner. That's where a licensed insolvency trustee comes in. They're the ones who make sure everything's legal and fair for everyone involved.
Okay, that already makes me feel a bit better knowing there's a pro involved. But let's be real, the big question everyone's probably thinking is, what's this going to do to my credit score?
I was waiting for that one. It's a common concern, and rightfully so. There's no sugarcoating it. There will be a drop in your score. But, and this is where it gets interesting, how much it drops depends on where your score was before you even filed the proposal.
Hold on, so you're saying if I already have kind of rough credit, it won't be as big of a deal compared to someone who had amazing credit and then does a consumer proposal?
That's exactly it. It's like, if you're already known for being a little late with assignments, one more late one isn't going to shock anyone. But if you're the star student and you suddenly miss a deadline, people notice.
Okay, that makes sense. So even if my credit score isn't stellar to begin with, a consumer proposal isn't a hopeless situation.
Not at all. And the information you gave me really highlights this. The biggest damage to your credit usually comes from ignoring it after a proposal, not the proposal itself.
Ah, so it's not about the initial stumble, it's about whether you get back up and keep moving forward.
Exactly. A consumer proposal is like a reset button. And speaking of getting back up, have you heard of Credit Karma or Borrowwell?
Yeah, they're those apps that let you check your credit score, right? I've seen the ads.
They're essential. They're like having a financial fitness tracker on your phone. You need to know where you stand before you can start making improvements, right?
It's true. Knowledge is power. Okay, so we've covered what a consumer proposal is, how it works, and even the initial impact it can have on your credit. But that initial drop can be scary, so how about we talk about the comeback? How do you actually start rebuilding?
Okay, so we know a consumer proposal can cause a bit of a credit score dip initially.
Yeah.
But we're not about to dwell on the dip, right? We're talking about the comeback. Absolutely. It's like they say falling down is a part of life. It's getting back up that counts.
Love that. So how do we get back up? What are the steps to rebuild after a consumer proposal?
Well, the information you shared actually lays out a really clear path, which is awesome. And step one, it's all about staying informed. Remember we were talking about Credit Karma and Borrowwell? Those are your new best friends.
I gotta keep an eye on those credit scores, right?
More than just watching the number. It's about understanding what makes it tick. Those apps, they help you see the why behind the numbers, not just the what, you know.
Okay, so knowledge is power. Got it. What's next on our comeback tour?
All right, so this one might sound a little strange at first. Get a secured credit card.
Okay, now you're gonna have to explain that one like I'm 5 because I have no idea what a secured credit card even is.
Uh-huh, no problem. Think of it like a credit card with training wheels. You put down a deposit, and that becomes your credit limit. You use it for small stuff, pay it off every month, and boom, you're showing everyone you can handle credit responsibly.
So you're basically proving you can manage credit by using credit. It's like a catch-22.
It really is, but the cool thing is, it works. Now, step 3 is all about outsmarting our forgetful selves. Automatic payments, my friend, for everything.
Oh my gosh, yes. I am the queen of forgetting to pay bills on time. It's the worst.
It's such a common thing, but those late payments, they really hurt your score. Setting up auto payments is like having a personal assistant who never forgets.
It's like magic, but for your finances. I love it. But okay, let's be real. Even with the best intentions, people trip up. What are some of the common mistakes people make when they're trying to rebuild? I don't want to fall into any traps here.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Hmm.
The information you gave me had some really good examples. And honestly, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do.
Okay, hit me with the cautionary tales. What should I avoid, like the plague?
The biggest one, ignoring your credit report.
Hmm.
You can't just assume everything is fine and dandy just because you filed a proposal.
So no burying my head in the sand and hoping for the best. Check. What else?
Another big one is going overboard with the credit applications. It's tempting to think that having more credit options is better, but it can actually backfire.
Because it makes you look desperate for credit. Right.
Exactly. Lenders see that you're applying everywhere, and they get a little wary. It's like if you're at a party and someone's offering you food from every single dish,
Yeah.
you might wonder what's going on there.
Oh, that's a great analogy. I'm never forgetting that one. All right, last pitfall.
Last but not least, falling back into old habits, especially missing payments. Remember how we talked about those handy-dandy automatic payments? That's your secret weapon.
My financial safety net. I'm sold. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, getting back on track after a consumer proposal. But what about going beyond back on track? Can we talk about like credit score domination? Is that even possible?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where the real magic happens, in my opinion. This info you shared, it really stresses playing the long game, building those habits that set you up for success way down the line.
Okay, I'm all about long-term success. So how do we make it happen?
So step one might sound deceptively simple, but it's huge. Avoid unnecessary debt.
Okay, easier said than done, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between a need and a want.
You're telling me, but think about it this way. Your phone's working fine, but there's a new model, slightly better camera.
Hmm.
Want, not a need.
Oh, I feel attacked, but you're right. Okay, I get it.
Or maybe you're thinking about a new car because the old one's got some miles on it. Unless your current car is like about to become a horse and buggy, that's probably a want masquerading as a need.
It's like that 24-hour rule for online shopping. If you still really feel like you need it a day later, maybe it's legit. Okay, so avoid unnecessary debt. Got it. What else helps with this whole credit score domination plan?
All right, so this one goes hand in hand with avoiding debt.
Wow.
That emergency fund we all hear about. I know, it's like a broken record. But there's a reason everyone keeps saying it.
Yeah, but how does an emergency fund actually, like, directly help my credit score? I need the specifics.
Okay, picture this. Your car decides to go on strike. Unexpectedly, of course. Big, fat repair bill staring you in the face. Now, if you've got a healthy emergency fund, you pay for it, no sweat, right? No scrambling for credit, no racking up high-interest debt. You just dodged a credit score bullet because you were prepared.
So it's like having a financial cushion protects you from those life curveballs that could really mess up your credit. I like it. But what about when it all feels like too much, even with the best laid plans?
It's funny you should say that because the research you shared really emphasized this. Asking for help is not a weakness. It's actually a huge strength.
Okay, I can get behind that. But where do you even start? Who do you ask for help with this stuff?
Well, there are tons of great resources out there. Credit counseling agencies, for example, they can help you put together a budget, figure out your debt, even negotiate with creditors for you.
It's like having a personal finance cheerleader in your corner.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, a lot of people who take that step and get some help, they see amazing results. We're talking like 100-point credit score jumps within a year of filing a consumer proposal.
Wow, 100 points. That's huge. This whole conversation has been so eye-opening. It really is possible to turn things around, isn't it?
It absolutely is. A consumer proposal. It's not the end of your financial story. It's just a chapter. It's all about how you choose to write the rest of it.
Love that. So for anyone listening who's feeling those financial growing pains, remember, you're not alone. And it's never too late to hit that refresh button. There's help out there, tons of success stories, and a whole lot of hope to be found on the other side of a consumer proposal. What's one small step you can take today to start writing your own financial comeback story? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Here's to a brighter financial future for us all.